Hello, everyone. This is Monsef Afkar, and thank you so much for joining us in this new call of Your Divine Uniqueness. Sorry for the delay today. And yeah, so very excited that Amy Flynn is back on the show. Yeah, I think most of you know her. She's been joining us, I think, since 2015, like in every season. And really love the energy that she shares with us, her and the collective that she channels, and also the messages that they bring. They are always uplifting, eye-opening, and how to say, makes it maybe easy for us to understand how the esoteric works in this physical reality, and how we can embody those energies that we are constantly or that are constantly helping us to maybe to bring more of our true self, more of our true power, and make that process, the ascension process or the awakening or maybe spiritual path, which is simpler, make it more easier and more practical. And yeah, also the energies are always very high that they transmit throughout the calls. And yeah, so, and for those of you who are new to Amy, she is the channeler of the collective, facilitator of divine connection and transformation, multidimensional energy healer, and multisensory intuitive. And today's call will be about mastering creation, navigating, thriving, and directing energy in the simulation. And also, I think the second part or the end of the call, we will have a Q&A where you can ask your questions. So for that, you can raise your hand by pressing reactions on Zoom. Then you can click on raise hand. Also, if you are on the phone, you can click on *9 to raise your hand. And you can type your question as well on the chat box on Zoom and YouTube. And then, yeah, as always, Amy and the collective, they guide us on a multidimensional journey. And so they will do that in the end of the call. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so that's Amy. Welcome back to the show. Happy to have you with us.
Hi, Monsef. Hi, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so excited to be back, and the collective are even more excited than me. They are really eager to have this conversation with you. They began this conversation a few months ago, and they kind of blew everybody's mind with what they shared. Well, now they're going to share more about this so-called simulation and illusion that we're living in, and they're going to look at whether you're a simulation, whether anything that you experience is not part of the simulation, and if it is a simulation, how do you thrive? How do you mold it to what you want, to your desires? And they have a lot of info on this and a lot of tools, and it's really fascinating stuff. I learned from them about all this, and it's just really, really interesting, and I think you're going to love it. And today, during this whole call or session, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be receiving a beautiful stream of the crystalline rainbow starlight frequencies. These are really, really high vibrational frequencies, and they're high dimensional also, and they feel lovely. They're not like a powerful energy. They just kind of swirl around you in the background and make you feel more relaxed. They make you feel happier. They make you feel just as if all of the stuff that you were concerned about, if you were, just kind of floats away, and you just feel good. They're all about feeling good, uplifting you, and I kind of feel that everybody could use a nice dose of that right now. So enjoy those. All right, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring the collective in. So hang on while I do. Hello, we are here.
Hello.
We had a little bit of an interesting, bumpy entrance because Amy put the phone on mute, and so we had to make sure that we unmuted it. So we are here, and we are really, really excited to talk to you about all of these wonderful things and all of this exciting energy and all of this, we could call it knowledge or wisdom or whatever. We don't really love those type of words, but we'll call it that. You're going to definitely experience something new today, and we're excited about that. Okay, so first of all, we want to welcome everybody, and we want you to just make sure that throughout this call, you're feeling comfortable and you're hydrated. There's going to be some interesting information, if we can call it that, shared, and it might challenge a lot of things that you think you know. So you might, want to just have some water around or whatever to help the energy flow through you. So we'll dive right in. Amy already told you about the wonderful rainbow frequencies that are flowing for you, and we hope that you enjoy them, and they are just beautiful and uplifting. All right, so in February, we shared that everything that you experience is part of a simulation, or actually is a simulation, meaning everything that you think is real is a simulation. And we'll just poke at that a moment and just say, if something were real and it were, reality is how we consider reality as something that's determined, or it is what is, how could it be shifted by your focus, your intention, and your thoughts, and also your feelings and energy? So if it were reality, how could that happen? We just want you to hold that little question and just kind of consider that as we share. Okay, so let's look at this reality. And what you'll notice is that it is definitely moldable. And that's how these industries of things like advertising, marketing, and whatever exist and got their start, because they realized, whoever started these fields realized that if you can control the group mind, the mind of the human culture, so that a lot of people are following a certain thought or a certain way of looking at something, you will create a massive amount of energy, and that energy will actually mold the reality to fit the scenario that you are, quote, pitching. And you can see this. You can see this throughout history. Back in the early 1900s, there were some marketing geniuses that discovered this about marketing. So they marketed, in quotes, or sold, or basically created a reality in which certain things were necessary for people to have. And they also created a reality in which certain things that were bad for you were really good for you. And everybody went along with it. And, of course, what happened was they sold lots and lots of the products that they wanted to sell. If you look at this, really look at it, you will see that what they were doing is they were molding reality as if reality was this kind of like moldable, gelatinous thing that they could just mold with their decisions and choices to. And then by using certain words and pushing the cultural energy, the mass energy in a particular direction, they literally changed the reality. If reality was really reality, they couldn't have done that. That would not have happened. Throughout history also, there have been people that have recognized that this, quote, reality is moldable through thought. And many have written books on it, many have talked about it, and they have projected their, we could say, recognition that all you have to do is focus in a particular way, hold a particular type of energy, and you can change reality. Again, could that happen if reality was a reality? No, but it can happen if it is a simulated reality, a simulation, and you are part of the simulation. Then it could very definitely happen. And a lot of energy, so the more energy, the more minds, the more people focusing, can change the so-called observed reality more powerfully and faster. So you have a lot of power. The only thing is, you have been led to believe that you don't. You have been led to believe that you have to live within reality as it is, as you experience it, and it's not changeable. You may have come to believe that you can alter a few things within your life, and your experience, but you haven't come to the realization that all reality is moldable. It's not fixed, and it is a simulation, and you are a part of it. And if you know how, you can change it. So, alter it, change it, mold it, whichever word we want to use. So, this is really exciting. Now, how come you believe that it's not that way? Because if you look at your world and at your, human people population, you'll notice that it is striated, that there are different levels of people with different levels of power. Those that have the power don't want to share the power, and they want to be able to have those under, if we use the word under, those without the power, to stay without the power so that they can control them. And one of the ways, the most effective way, actually, to control them is through fear. So if you pay attention and you look as an observer and don't get caught up in things, you will notice that constantly, almost moment by moment, there is something new generated to be fearful about. There is a new fear generated, a new fear pushed. Sometimes they're bigger fears, sometimes they're little fears, but everything that is pushed from a fear-based angle. That's not a mistake. That's intentional. And that is also part of the control mechanism of the simulation. So we just want you to hold all this information that we're giving you. We don't want you to try to do anything with it yet. We just want you to receive it. Just receive it. Now, when you showed up here, you, of course, you recognized where you were coming. You knew as an infant. You knew as this brilliant aspect, extension of source consciousness, where you were coming, what you were doing here, why you came here, and you came to basically play in this simulation and experience it. You then were welcomed by all of these other people that were here, and you were taught as they had learned, and you were taught that things are a certain way, and this is how you need to behave, and these are the things you need to be fearful about, and these are the things that you're able to do, and these are the things that you can't affect or change, and so on and so forth. You were not taught that you can do anything. This is a simulation. You're part of the simulation. You can affect the simulation, especially the simulation as you experience it. You were not taught that. So you grew up with a whole life giving you evidence, because you will always have evidence of what you believe. And you were taught a certain thing or many certain things, And as you grew up, you created the evidence to support those things. And especially if these things were coming from people of authority that you respected, then you were just creating more evidence to support them because you respected them. So, by the time you are an adult, you have a ton of evidence for things being a certain way and for things being fixed, for reality being fixed. By fixed, we mean held in place, being a particular way, like you fix a cement, that type of fixing, not fixing like fixing a mistake. We're not talking that type of fixing. So we don't know another word for fixing. We could say solidifying, but that's not really accurate. So, because everything is energy, and we know you know that, or you've heard it at least. So we're not going to say solidifying. We're just going to use the word fixing. So things get fixed or firmed up in a certain way, and you then live your life as if things are this way. The as if is the key to everything in the simulation. The simulation would have no power over you or your experience if you didn't live as if within it. So living as if creates what is already here, and you live in that, live into that, we could say, or living as if creates something completely new depending on what as if you choose. And the as if is completely up to you. You don't know that. We're telling you that. And if you know it intellectually, you surely don't live that way. The very highly successful people on the planet know this. They know that their world, their experience is their as if, and they are living as if. So when they choose to do something, they look to see what as if needs to be and what, quote, as if that they're holding now or living now needs to go. Now, when we say as if, living as if, we want to put this in a way that you can grasp, because we know that's strange wording. Okay. All right, here's a nice example. You are in your home, and you wake up, and every day you live as if it's raining. And that's your belief. That's what you hold. Someone a long time ago probably told you it always rains on the earth. It always rains in this neighborhood. So it's always raining. So always take your umbrella and put it up as soon as you go outside because, it's raining. So you accepted that, and you live every day as if it's raining. So every single day you get up, you put on, some kind of raincoat, you take your umbrella, and as soon as you walk out the door, you put it up. You don't even see that the sun may be shining because you are living as if it's raining. Now, the interesting thing is, when you live as if something, that as if shows up for you. So you can actually experience rain wherever you go, whereas somebody down the road may be experiencing sunshine. Now, this is kind of a dramatic example, and we're using a weather example, but we want to impress upon you that this holding of your energy, you're believing something is so, and living as if it were so, creates your reality, your experience. Now, again, that couldn't happen if it weren't a simulation. How can you have a different experience than the person down the road? You can. There's so many examples of this in life. If you start looking, you will see that what you're experiencing, what you're seeing, what you're knowing may be completely different than what the person who lives next to you is seeing, knowing, and what they're living into, what they're living as if. Now, there's many different things, many different options, possibilities for any given moment. As a matter of fact, there's an infinite number of possibilities for any given moment. Again, there is no reality, because if there were a reality, everybody would be experiencing the same thing. But there isn't, and that isn't what happens. So this is really, really good news. We're not going to get too deep into the whole simulation idea. We're just going to talk about it a little, because what we really want you to get this time is how you can control this simulation. It's like you have little controllers in your hands, but no one told you you had a controller, so you're living in this reality that someone told you exists while you have the tools to make it what you would like to experience. So we're going to give you a little assignment. We don't expect you to do it now, but we want you to do it over, say, the next 2 weeks. We're going to dissolve some of these beliefs that you have. We're going to explain beliefs. We're going to explain agreements. And what we're going to have you do is change the weather. Either move the clouds around in the sky, bring in more, clear the ones that are there, maybe take a sunny day and make it overcast and look like it's going to rain. We want you to do this through your focus. We don't want you to pick a day where the weather forecast is, it's going to cloud up. No, we want you to pick any day, and we want you to preferably not know what the weather forecast is going to be, because that sets up a belief within you. Okay, so we just want you to hold that, okay? The reason why we want you to do that and play around with that is because as you do it and you play with it and you see the effect that you can have on something like the clouds or the weather, you're going to really start to believe that you have this massive power and you can do anything. So that's why we want you to do that. And it'll be fun. It'll be fun for you, too. So, okay, what are beliefs and what are agreements? Beliefs and agreements are we could say, the cement and the material that create this reality and hold it together. So, agreements are the material of the reality. Beliefs are the cement of the reality. So if you think of like bricks and you're building a wall with bricks and you put cement in between each brick to hold it in place. The bricks are the agreements and the beliefs that you have is the cement. Agreements would be worth nothing if they weren't, it wouldn't be worth nothing, but they wouldn't be very effective if they weren't held in place by beliefs. So, you have beliefs about everything. You have beliefs about things you don't even know you have beliefs about. So we're going to look at that in a moment. First, we're going to look at the bricks, the agreements. So, you come into this reality, you start being told how it is, how it works, how you have to be, how you can't be, and on and on and on. Everything that you are told, you then agree to. This isn't just the case with you, it's the case with every single human being showing up here. Now, of course, the agreements may be slightly different depending on the culture and the location of where this new being has shown up. Basically, you're getting a whole bucket load, or we could say a truckload of agreements, and you're being shown what they are. And then you're being told how to believe about them, what beliefs are okay, what beliefs aren't okay, and how things work. The how things work is a belief. It's both an agreement and a belief. So, agreements are energy. They gain more energy when more and more beings agree to them and accept them as so. So, if you had one person or two people agreeing to something, that is not going to be a very powerful agreement. It would be powerful maybe for them in a small way, but it is not going to affect the world, or as we call it, the simulation. But if you have every single being on the planet, except for maybe a few who woke up and saw what's really going on here, agreeing to something, you are going to have the reality expressed, reflected, built that is based on these agreements. That's what it's going to be. So agreements like we could say the ground is solid, the sky is not, there's gravity, the earth is round or the earth is flat. All these things are agreements that people have. We want you to know that. And what's really interesting is if you ever look into some of these debates, like something like the earth is flat versus the earth is round, you will see that there is tremendous amounts of evidence supporting each side. It's kind of amusing. Each side can just show you and find a ton of evidence to support their agreement. They have agreed that things are a particular way, and see, this is how we prove it to you. But what they're not understanding is what they're seeing is as a result of the agreement that they made that things are that way. So let's take that into your life. What you have in your life is because you have an agreement that things are that way. Can you see that? If you didn't agree that things are the way that they are, you wouldn't be experiencing them. They wouldn't be in your life. So therefore, agreements mean reality is moldable and changeable. You just have to accept, realize, and recognize the agreements that you made. So you start to make new agreements. There is a book called The 4 Agreements. It's a very good book. It talks about 4 basic agreements for life and living. And these are very basic agreements, and they can dramatically alter your reality, your experience of reality, your experience of others, your experience of the planet, or it may be more subtle. The thing is, they're foundational agreements. And being that they're foundational agreements, they can shake up all of the other agreements on top of them that you have added and plastered into this, quote, agreement wall throughout your life. So here you are, behind all of these agreement walls, living, and you don't even know that you're behind these agreement walls. So what about the beliefs? You've been taught to believe certain things. You've been taught things are a certain way. After you agree to that, you then seek evidence to support that. And every time there's a bit of evidence, you then believe more that things are this way. You might find little variations of things, little subtle different shadings of a particular way or thinking, and you create a belief about it. Beliefs are, you're taught both agreements and beliefs when you come here. You are taught, you're basically being given the rules and the operating system of the simulation, but you don't know it. You're just this wide-eyed baby, all ready to accept everything that's being told to you like a sponge. You don't screen it. You don't think about it critically. You're a baby, and you just accept it as so. And then you grow up living as if it is so. So are you seeing that we're kind of going in this little circle here with this? We hope that we're being clear, because really, the English language that you use, or any language on this earth, was not designed to talk about this, because the creators of the simulation, in quotation marks, they don't want you to talk about it. They just wanted you to accept these agreements and these beliefs and live as if they are so. So, if you can just accept all that we said, what we're going to tell you now is all of the things that you believe, all of the agreements that you made were thought up by someone else, and they aren't so. I mean, if you want to say, oh, the beings or the people that created the simulation thought them up, you can. But you are as much a part of the simulation as anybody else, and you can change the rules for you. You can change through belief and agreement everything. And what's involved in this is you make new agreements. You make new agreements with yourself. You make new agreements with your space. You make new agreements with the objects in your space. Remember, there is nothing that exists here within your reality, within this simulation, on this planet, we're using all the different ways of saying it, that is not conscious. Everything is an aspect of source. Therefore, everything is conscious. So yes, you can talk to your car. Yes, you can talk to your piece of clothing. Yes, it might not answer you back, but it will get the energy from you. It will receive the energy. It will respond according to your energy. So you could actually have a car that never needs maintenance and runs perfectly, because you believe it's so, and you make an agreement with the car. So it might sound crazy, but it can happen. It can very much happen. So, all right, so you're making these new agreements. You can start with making new agreements with a small group of people, and then building the beliefs on top of that. So we'll give you a little example. Suppose you want to move and you decide you're going to live in a small little community, and you're going to move away from like the city and all the big stores and everything that you have, quote, lived in agreement with before. You're going to change that. A lot of people call it going off the grid, but you don't even have to go off the grid. You're just changing things. You're going to do something different. So you form a new agreement with your experience about what it's going to be like. And then you find others who are willing to make the same new agreement with you. So they're making this agreement, you're making this agreement. You might only have a group of, say, 5 or 10 people at first. You make new agreements, and you begin to build the beliefs around these new agreements. And the beliefs can be something like, we are a prosperous society, everybody prospers, we have an abundance of everything that we need, we never have a shortage, there's absolutely no fear, we don't experience fear, it's something that is very foreign to us, and on and on and on. And your life, your experience, will reflect all of these new agreements and the beliefs. So it's really, really a powerful thing, and you absolutely can do this. Absolutely. Now, can you do the same, staying in the current, quote, reality, unquote? Yes, you can. You can change your perception and experience of the reality. And as you live as if your chosen perception is true, we're putting true in quotation marks too, because what's true in a simulation? question mark there. But as you live as if your chosen reality is true, it will be reflected in what you experience and what you see. It will bring completely new experiences into your life for you to experience. It will bring completely new people into your life for you to experience. And if you think that this isn't possible, try it. But you really have to do it with 100% commitment. So in other words, when you choose to live as if, or you're saying you're living as if, you have to live as if. So for the dramatic example we gave before about the raining all the time, if you choose that your agreement, your new reality is going to be, it is raining all the time. You could also choose, it's sunny all the time. Whatever you choose, you have to live as if that is so. And in the beginning, what you're going to notice is your experience does not necessarily reflect your as-ifness. It's not 100% there. It may start to go in that direction, but it's not there. That's not because the reality, or quote, the environment around you isn't changing. It's because you have beliefs. And your beliefs are telling you you can't do that. And your beliefs are telling you things are a certain way. And then you have the agreements that you made to believe that things are a certain way. So you have to overcome that. It's like taking apart that wall that was built out of beliefs and agreement, the bricks and the concrete. Walls can be taken apart and taken down. Usually some people do it with a pick or some kind of device or something. You do the same with your agreements and your beliefs. Now, the key to this is, again, believing that you can. If you don't believe you can, you can't. But if you believe you can, you will. And you will be able to do it. So you need to become honest with yourself in as many moments of the day as you can. You need to look at yourself, at your thoughts, reactions, and actions, and assumptions about the way things are, and question them and say, is this a belief that I have? Is this something I agreed to? Do I know really that this is the way it is? Or did I just accept it because someone made me agree to it, and then I built the evidence of beliefs to convince myself that it was true, the way that it is? So that's a lot of words. But the process of looking at things in the moment with these queries goes much faster than saying the words. It's really quick. And the more you do it, the more practiced you will become at doing it. And the more you will see that things are not the way you think they are or the way that you perceive. And you will be able to start to unravel this brick wall of beliefs and agreements and rebuild yourself a new structure. Doesn't have to be a wall, it could be any structure, with new beliefs and agreements. Now you might be thinking, why do we need to have beliefs and agreements at all? Why can't we just get rid of them? Why can't I just live belief-free and agreement-free? Because you're living on the earth in this third-dimensional playground, if we could call it that, and the rules of existence on the earth are that there have to be agreements and beliefs to hold it together. And again, this is because it is a simulation. And if it were not a simulation, you would not need beliefs and agreements. You could have, get rid of the ones that you have and live without them. But that's not possible here. You have to have agreements and beliefs. They are the structure of this existence, of this reality that you are in. Somewhere inside you, you know this. You know this. Because you are source. You are source consciousness. We know you've heard this, but you don't get it. That's the thing. You hear your source consciousness, but if you listen to your thinking and how you act, you're going to see that you act as if you are you and there's something larger than you that can either help you out, that oversees things or whatever. You're going to notice that that's how you function. Why is that? You agreed to it. You agreed to it when you came here. It is an agreement that exists in this earth realm. And you then built the beliefs to support the agreement, so you believe it to be, in quotation marks, true. The only thing that's true is that nothing, no thing is here. It's pure consciousness. That is true. Everything else that you perceive is based upon an agreement that you made, and it may be a cultural agreement. Agreements that the whole culture makes are very powerful, and they make things show up, look like they are a certain way. But everything is a result of agreements and then beliefs to hold those agreements together. So it's a pretty fantastical idea and thought. But if you start examining it and playing with it, like the way you might pick up a crystal and examine it by turning it around, looking at the different facets and the different sides and the different views and the colors it might reflect. You start looking at what we're telling you this way and start looking at your reality experience as agreements and beliefs, you're going to start to have a lot of interesting insights coming to you. You're going to start to see things differently. We're not going to tell you how you're going to see things because each one of you is different, and each one of you is going to come to a different experience, we could say. So, and that's the exciting part. That's what's supposed to happen. Each one of you is unique and distinct. You are an aspect, not like Source made you and put you here. You are Source. It's as if Source extended a finger, and that finger is living as you here in this earth realm. That's that. The finger did not detach from Source. It's not separate. It's still Source. It's just an extension of the Source consciousness and energy as you, not into you. It's not the Source energy is in you. You are Source. You are, all of you, through and through. There's not anything about you that isn't Source. So we know a lot of people, a lot of you want to speak to Source. You want to receive guidance from Source. You can. You're Source. You just need to shift the agreements that you made about yourself and about Source or some kind of higher consciousness. And you need to also shift the beliefs that you hold or that you believed to hold those agreements in place. Do you know, we think most of you might, that all of the modern religions on the planet didn't exist? Hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, they didn't exist. They were made up. They were created by somebody. They might have been created out of one being's experience. One being had an experience that was so profound that they went and communicated things to others who were so quick, this is the key, so quick to want to agree to what this person was sharing and saying and believe in it without having any experience directly themselves, that allowed religions to be created. And as religions matured on the planet, there were many, many more agreements and many, many more beliefs that were imposed upon people to support these agreements. But if you go back and you look at the very beginnings of all of these religions, you are going to see that it really came from an agreement and a belief. Very, very interesting. Everything that you experience in your life, your so-called life experience, is because you made an agreement, and these are unconscious agreements. These are not, you don't go around saying, yes, I agree that the ground is hard. I agree that this is an asphalt road and I can drive on it. No. You know these things, like this is real, that is a road, this is hard, this is soft, but you don't know them. You agreed to experience them as such. They're energy, pure energy, without substance and without form, and you have agreed to perceive and experience them a certain way. And then you give yourself plenty of evidence that they are that certain way. If you go out into the road and you fall down on the asphalt, and you're going to scrape yourself and you're going to get a bruise, it's hard. So that's evidence to support the agreement that you made. But you could unravel every single aspect of your reality and what you think is so by looking at agreements and beliefs. It's really, really powerful, and it's profound. We invite you to start doing this on a small scale. So, in other words, we invite you to just start doing it in your everyday living. When you first get up in the morning, what do you do? Why do you do that? Do you have an agreement that this is what you're supposed to do? Why do you put your clothes on this? Here, a really easy example. Tying shoelaces. Why do you tie shoelaces that way? Because that's how you were taught. People tie shoelaces in many different ways. And you were taught a particular way, and you agreed that this is the way to tie shoelaces. And you grew up tying shoelaces this way. And if you ever tried to tie your shoelaces in a different way that someone else might do, you will find that your fingers just cannot do it. You are fumbling all over the place, and it is just something that is so foreign to you. Why? Agreements and beliefs. So we want you to start noticing the smaller things first. They're going to be easier to notice, the little things in your life. And we want you to play around with shifting them by changing the as if. So, if, we can't even think of any. But we invite you, when we take your questions, for you to ask about changing as if. So, in other words, if you have a situation in your life that you are not pleased with or that you would like to change and shift, you can ask what you are living as if to make this so, and what do you need to shift? What as if do you need to shift into to have that situation show up differently for you? So we will be happy to play with you in that way. Now, there was one other thing that we wanted to share, and right now it has escaped us, but let us focus for a moment. Not about beliefs, it's not about agreements. We know it will come up when you ask us questions, because you are always so wise and you come up with the most fabulous questions, and you draw things out of us that we haven't said. So you cannot think of it. If we think of it while we're doing the questions and answers, we will definitely, bring it up and say it.
Yes.
So let us think if there's anything else that we want to mention before we go into the questions and answers. We're feeling that there's a lot of questions about what we just spoke about. So that's why we're feeling the questions and answers energy now. We weren't a few minutes ago, but we are now. And all right, let's just go into the questions and answers, because we know that as you ask, more things will come up, and it will give us the opportunity to explain more and go into this whole thing more. We just want to remind you that what we are saying is that nothing is as it appears to be, and nothing is real. And if this were really real and not a simulated reality, you couldn't do what you do. If you think about, we're just going to throw this example in before we go into the questions and answers. If you think about a video game, if you think about something, a virtual world like Second Life, and some of these things that are on the metaverse, what you'll realize, I mean, they have like real concerts on the metaverse and in Second Life with real artists. So just doing it in this virtual reality. So what is virtual reality? It is a reality that is created, and you can see it's created because it's different from your, what you call your so-called physical reality, or your real reality in big quotation marks. And when you go to play in one of these realities, you have to agree to a lot of rules. There's rules, there's agreements. There's agreements on how things operate. There are agreements on what you can and cannot do. There are agreements on how you can move around in this reality. There are agreements upon what you can build and do and create in this reality. And everybody agrees to those. And when you function in that reality, you have a representative little person of yourself that they call an avatar, and you move around in that reality living as if all these things you agreed to were so, because they are so in that reality. And then your little person has the beliefs and functions within the beliefs that these things are so. That is exactly how these little virtual worlds work. Well, we're saying, what if the thing you think is real reality is just another virtual world, and you're in it? You cannot disprove that. We know you cannot disprove that, because there is absolutely no way to disprove that. So we want you to just hold that as a thought, as a what if, not an as if, but a what if. And when things start showing up in your life, or you start experiencing things, we want, and especially things that you would like to not experience, we want you to just remember, what if this is just another virtual reality? What if I'm in a virtual reality? Well, I can know that. I can know that. I don't have to live as if this is a solid reality and blah, blah, blah. I can know I'm in a virtual reality. So then you can start playing with, okay, if I'm in this virtual reality, what can I do? How can I play in it? What can I do? How can I mold it? See, it's bringing questions. It's bringing opportunities to think and look at things a different way. Like that example we said, when you're holding the crystal and looking at it from all different sides. It's allowing you to examine what you thought was an absolute reality and see that it really isn't. And we promise you there's no way that you can prove that this is a solid, absolute reality. You can try, but you will not be able to. Okay, so now we're going to ask Monsef to get some questions from you, and we hope that you have some ready for us, because We are excited to hear what you want to know, what you want to ask about all this, because we know this is very bizarre and foreign to you. It's a different way of thinking because you have so many agreements you made that it's not like this. So we want to try and see if we can shatter a few agreements, weaken a few agreements as we speak with you. So, Monsef?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
First, thank you very much for all this information. And yeah, so reminder, everyone, you can raise your hand by pressing reactions, then raise hand on Zoom. Or if you are on the phone, you can press *9 to raise your hand. And also you can type your questions on the chat boxes on both Zoom and YouTube. Tanya, can you please unmute yourself?
Hello? You want us to do something?
Hello.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. I put my question in writing, but yeah, I'll prefer to talk. So
Okay, well,
yes.
What is your name?
I'm Tanya. Tanya Caldwell.
Tanya. Okay. Hi, Tanya.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Monsef. I feel like I'm sabotaging my dreams as consciously I want something. Consciously, I think I am ready, but I know that something holds me back, and I think it is my beliefs, and there are many beliefs like I'm not good enough, I can't do it, I can't have a lot of money, I want to move house, but I don't want to pack because it makes me stressed, because I moved so many times in last 5 years that it literally, you know, holds me in kind of fear of moving again, and I sabotage all my dreams in the way that I just don't do. It is like procrastination, but I know that any procrastination has psychological background to it. So how can I shift my subconscious?
Here, just think about this. If you go up on the really high diving board, that's 100 and something like meters in the air, like impossibly high, and you walk out to the edge, you are going to be petrified to dive off. And you're not gonna. You're gonna cling to that diving board with everything, and you're probably gonna crawl back to the other side. That's procrastination. That is the energy of procrastination. It's fear, terrible fear. Okay, so go ahead. We think we know what you're saying. So if you would like us to dive right in, we will. Or do you want to say more?
No, like literally now I want to move house, and I haven't been able to move house for a year. And I tell myself every day that I need to start packing. I need to start selling things that I don't need. I need to start packing. And I've been talking to this way to myself for a year. And I'm almost nothing I packed, and almost nothing, there is nothing I sold. And I know that I will have to do it anyway. And somebody said, oh, why don't you think other way? Why don't you think so you have to get more money so you can stay? But I don't want to stay. I want to move, but you know what I mean? I want to move,
yes.
but I don't want to do anything to move.
You're caught in an energy whirlpool of several things. It's the energy of fear, it's the energy of doubt, and it is the energy of attachment and not wanting to let go. And yet, it is also the energy of something driving you forward. So a lot of these energies, we won't say all, a lot of these energies work against one another. So if you have the energy of attachment and then the fear energy of procrastination, and you have the energy of something driving you, pushing you, like, oh, I really want to get out of here. I want to go somewhere. I know where I want to go and the type of place I want to be in. That is opposing the other energies, and you're going to be stuck. You're not going anywhere because the two energies cancel each other out. You feel them all. You have the thoughts about them all. More than anything is you have the thoughts. But you don't do anything different because you're stuck. And it's basically, as we said, because you have two opposite energies working. And if you have two opposite energies pulling on we'll say an object for this example, though you are not an object, the object is not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay there because each one is pulling from the other side, and the object just stays where it is. And that is exactly what's happening with you as far as energetically. As far as beliefs and agreements, you mentioned some beliefs that you have. Behind those beliefs are agreements. You agreed that things are a certain way, not just about yourself, but about the world, about others, about, all sorts of things. What we would like you to do is to start examining, to look and see what are the agreements that you made that are behind your beliefs. So if you have a belief that you're not good enough, and yes, someone probably told you that, and then what happened is you believed it, and then you reinforced it because you held that belief, and as you lived your life, you kept creating circumstances and evidence that that belief was true. So it's kind of like a little cyclic thing, and you're sitting there stuck in the middle. All right, so what did you agree to as a little child, as a baby? You can look back and you can remember if you, focus. And you don't need to worry if you're remembering accurately or whatever. Trust what you receive. So just kind of look back and see, what agreements did I agree to? What was I told? What was enforced upon me? Now, the agreement that you would have agreed to or might have agreed to behind I'm not good enough is the agreement of what successful people are, what a certain, people that do a particular thing or achieve a particular thing are like. This is what they are like, and you agree to that. And then on top of that, you were told you're not good enough, and you agreed to that. And as you lived your life, you created evidence to support these agreements, which then became beliefs. So you cemented yourself in behind this very thick brick wall, and now you're wanting to do something differently, but you can't because you're stuck. So what we invite you to do is we invite you to start unraveling it by looking to see, what did you agree to? What do you agree to now about how things are? And we don't mean about how things are like, I agree that I can't stay in this location, this house, this home, because I don't have the amount of money that I need. That's not an agreement. That's a situation. And that also we could say is a belief. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about what agreement do you make, or are you remaking, because agreements have to be remade all the time, that say that the situations that you're experiencing now are. I mean, what if, we're just saying, what if everything that you're experiencing is not so? It's only being experienced by you because you agreed that it is so. What if you could unagree that it's so? What if you could make a different agreement? What would happen then? These are the type of questions that we want you to approach your life with and approach a situation with. Now, we know that you have all this practical focus, like, oh, my God, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to, find a new home, I have to pack up my stuff. That is all the icing on the cake, so to speak. But you can't have icing if there's no cake. You got to have a cake in which to put that icing on top. So what is making up your cake? That's what we want you to look at. What are the agreements that you made and are continually remaking about how things are in the world, about how you are in the world, about how things work in the world, in your life, what you can do, what you can't do. We want you to look at all of that. And we want you to look at it with a a questioning mind. In other words, we don't want you to look at it from the perspective of making something wrong and making something right, and this is a better agreement, and this is a bad agreement, and this is a not good, great agreement. We don't want any of that. That's not helpful at all. We want you to just look to see the agreements. Once you recognize the agreements, then you can make a new agreement. Now, we're going to give you the example of the path in the woods, because making a new agreement does not mean that you're going to automatically forget the old agreement and agree to the new one and everything's going to change. It's going to take some re-agreeing to the new agreement over and over to make that agreement be your new agreement on how things are. And how things are could be about yourself and about the world, about others, about money, about anything. So this is the path in the woods example. All right. So this woman goes to work every day, and she walks through the woods. It's a shortcut to get there. And every day she leaves her house, she walks through a field, and then she comes to the woods, and she enters the woods where there is this big wide path, and she just walks. And she's not even paying attention to where she's walking. She's not even noticing the beautiful woods. She's just thinking about where she's going to get to. And she also knows that when she comes out on the other side, she's going to come out like in a garbage dump where it's not really great, and she has to kind of navigate around that garbage dump. She's not thrilled about that part, but it is much shorter to walk through this path in the woods. So she does it every single day, over and over. Well, one day she decided, this is ridiculous. I can't stand walking around and through that garbage dump. Why don't I try a different path through the woods? And she looked, and she didn't see any other paths. So she said, okay, I could make a new path. I'm going to make a new path. So she came out with her little sickle, and she started chopping away at the brush and tromping down on the little, sticks and twigs on the ground, and she started making a new path. And she chopped away and cut away in front of her and walked through. And lo and behold, she came out in a really, really nice neighborhood. And she only had to go one more street over to be at work. So she was thrilled. She didn't have to deal with this horrible garbage dump anymore, and she could have a pleasant walk to work. So she decided this is how she's going to go from now on. Now, when it came time for her to go home, she couldn't find a new path. And then she thought she recognized it, and she realized that it wasn't cleared. It was she just walked through one time, so she had to do it again. So she had her sickle with her, and she went chopping away and flattening things down and chopping away, and she came out at the field and went home. The next morning, she woke up, and she automatically started to go towards the big, wide path. And she caught herself. She said, oh, no, I'm not going there. I am not going in that path. I don't want to come out in that smelly garbage dump. I'm going to find my other path. And she looked, and sure enough, she could find a little bit that was cleared. And she said, okay, I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to clear out more as I go. And she continued to do that. She walked through, and she cleared it out, showed up at the other end in the lovely neighborhood, walked the 1 block to work, and was thrilled. It was a really enjoyable work. And as she walked through the woods, she noticed all of the beautiful trees and the different bushes and the little animals scurrying around, and it really uplifted her and made her feel so good. So the next morning she woke up, and the same thing happened. She found herself walking in the direction of the big wide path. She said, I don't want to go this way. I don't know why I'm going this way. And then she said, oh, I guess it's because it's already cleared, and it's the path of least resistance, and so it's drawing me to it. But no, I'm going to go on my new path. So she finds the little clearing that she started to make that was opening up her new path. And once again, she walked through, chopping her way with the sickle, clearing it out as she went through. And it got a little bigger. And she did this over and over and over and over. And as she continued to walk and clear on the new path, it got big and beautiful and wide, and it brought her out in the beautiful neighborhood close to work, and she was so happy. And the new path, well, when she would walk out of her home and cross the field and walk up to the woods, the new path was the one that called her and beckoned to her. It was clear, it was bigger, and she could see it, and it looked so inviting. And the old path that she used to always walk, the one that was so big and clear, is now getting grown over and is closing up. All the weeds are coming up, and the brush is filling in, and leaves are dropping on it, and it's not really very clearly there anymore. So the reason why we tell you this story is this is how you do everything. When you create new agreements, when you create new beliefs, when you create new actions, you do it through your decision to do it, and then you stick to your decision. And in the beginning, you're not going to see the fruits of your decision so much. It's going to keep closing up. But as you continue to do it, it will become your path of least resistance. It will become automatic for you, and you will automatically find yourself doing that which creates different results and experiences in your life. I hope that example was helpful.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for explaining the energies. Now I understand why it is emotionally draining. I've been working on my thoughts and beliefs for the last year. It's not, it's not easy because
how are you working on it? What are you doing?
At least now I'm conscious of what I think and what I believe. Before I was unconscious. I just had this cloud of thoughts. Just, I'm Gemini. I had thoughts like I was so busy in my head, I couldn't breathe.
Right.
And now I slowed down, and I kind of now at least I can single out those thoughts and beliefs that kind of blocking me. But yes, you're right. It's not changing just like that. It is work, and it's constant work. And thank you so much for reminding me that it doesn't change in one day.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
We would recommend that you start with just a couple of little beliefs and agreements and change them. Work on changing them, and work on, as you do it, notice what's changing, what's shifting, what's happening. And yes, it will take, being dedicated to doing it and doing it. The reason why we recommend doing just a couple is because you will see the results, and then you will be motivated to do more. Yeah. And motivation and inspiration are very important when it comes to something like changing foundational agreements and beliefs.
I know. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Thank you, Monsef.
Yeah, thank you, Tanya. And also thank you very much, the collective. And let's see. Mikalia, she wrote, hello, everyone. Looking forward to this. I felt the solstice energies were intense. They feel even more intense today. And I've been feeling a lot of dragon energy. Can Amy and the collective talk about this, please? Thank you.
Okay, we have questions. Did you say dragon energy?
Yes.
Like the entity, a being, dragon,
yes.
being. Okay. Yeah. And read the other part again. We just remembered, if that's a word that fits us, we don't even know if we have the capacity to remember, but it just came to us what it was that we wanted to share. And we think that this might help, but go ahead and reread the first part of the question, please.
I felt this about the solstice. I felt the solstice energies were intense. They feel even more intense today. And I've been feeling a lot of dragon energy.
Okay, what type of energy is she saying feels intense?
The solstice, summer solstice, like 21 June.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yes. The solstice energies are intense. They were intense. They are intense. They open up a little portal, and that portal will be open through the weekend. And what happens with the portal is other energies, other frequencies can come through that you normally don't experience within this realm, in this world. We don't know what to call it exactly. And so that can throw you. But what we invite you to do is we invite you to bathe in the energies like you are taking a bath. So if you take a bath, you get into a bathtub, you're in the water, you're bathing, the water is everywhere. So the water is just energy, and it is washing all over you, it's surrounding you, it's lifting you, it's holding you. Same thing as if you go and you swim in water, the same thing. Well, this solstice energy, which is very powerful and is coming through, is energy that is not normally here or available on the planet. It is present at this time. We invite you to bathe in it, to let it surround you, to let it lift you, to just feel it, notice it, examine it, see how it feels. Ask yourself, how does it feel? And if you start to answer that type of question with something like, oh, it feels intense, or it feels it feels like it's like too much for me, or it's draining me, or something like that, we want you to know that those are agreements that you hold or that you made and beliefs that you hold about energy. None of that stuff is true. So we want you to, it's like as if you were in the ocean and you're swimming, and someone says, what's it like? You say, oh, it feels wet, it feels salty. Those are agreements you made, that this water is wet, this water is salty, this water feels a certain way. What if you had none of that? What if you had no agreements about how something was, and you were starting with no preconceived beliefs, nothing? You had no conception. So we want you to do that. We invite you to do that with this solstice energy. How does it feel? How do I feel in it? Do I feel like maybe I can do something different, or that I am different? What does it feel like? If I wrap this energy around me, how does that feel? So we want you to examine it in that way. We don't want you to make a decision about it or an assumption about it, because we can promise you every decision and assumption that you make is based on agreements that you made coming here, and beliefs that you then accepted and created to hold those agreements in place. So we want you to not to pretend that you have never, ever experienced energy before, and see how it is, and go with it that way. Why are you experiencing this dragon energy? Well, we would say it's because obviously you are inviting the dragon energy to you somehow. It's something, either the vibration that you're holding, a thought that you are thinking. It just, it's got to be one of those. We wouldn't say it's a belief, because you're inviting this to you. It's a vibrational thing, and that could be generated by a thought. It could be generated by a feeling. And that vibration that you are holding is inviting the dragon energy to you. So we would say dragons are very powerful beings, very loving, very powerful. Many people, humans, have misconceptions about dragons and dragon energy. So we would say to allow yourself to receive their energy, allow yourself to experience their loving nature and their supportive nature, and just kind of go with it in this way. See what happens. See what happens. Do it in a playful way. Like you want to play with these dragons. You want to play with this dragon energy. and just see what happens. We think you will be pleasantly surprised. We hope that that answered your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, the collective. And also thank you, Mikaela, for your question. Yeah, and we'd love to hear your feedback. You can type it on the chat box. Do we take one more, or do we move to the next?
We can take one more. We want to share something really quickly before we take the question, and that is what we were going to share with you before. It is about perception and creation, and what you think is so is your projection. All right, we're going to use the example of seeing, your eyes. What you actually are looking at is an energetic vibration, an energetic frequency. So you are looking with your eyes, which are also energy, and at a particular vibrational composite, you could say. And it's a collection of frequencies and vibrations, and you were taught from the moment that you came here that that collection of frequencies is a particular thing. Oh, that is a desk. When you see these vibrations or you feel these vibrations, that is a desk. So what happens is, what comes into your eyes is not a desk. It's light. It's energy. Light and energy and vibration enter into your eyes, go through your eyes, land on the back of your eyes, and that light energy frequency pattern is then sent to your brain, which then says, oh, we have a folder for that, a file for that. That is a desk. And so then that information is sent back to the eyes, and you look out and you see a desk. You project the desk. The desk is not there. It is your projected creation based on what you were told and what you learned. Again, something you agreed to, and then you enforce it with the beliefs every time you look at something that fits that energetic profile, and it registers as a desk. So, this is how you see everything and perceive everything around you. And once you project something, then you perceive it, and you think it is so. It's not so. It's like in the movie theater, you have the projector with the movie on it, and then you have the screen. And the screen, excuse us, we have a tickle. Tickle in the throat. Hold on, we're going to drink some water. Okay. So you see the screen, which is way on the other side of the room, and the projector, which is on the other side of the room. And from the projector comes a beam of light. And the beam of light is filled with energy and frequencies and all sorts of energetic mix and matches and whatever. There's all sorts of things going on in there. And this beam of light lands on this big screen, and images are produced. We would ask, are the images really there, or are you projecting the images based on the energy that is coming out of the projector? It's a good question to hold and ponder. It's like a koan. It's designed to be something to ponder, not designed to be something to answer. Koans are not designed to have an answer. They're designed to be something that you think about that makes your mind go, oh. And when your mind goes, oh, it stops being so certain about things, and you have some light pouring in. You have some opportunity, some space to make a new agreement, to build new beliefs to hold the new agreement together, and most importantly, to even see the agreements that you have. So that's the whole purpose of a koan. Most people don't use them correctly like that. So that is, we just wanted to point that out to you about your seeing, and what you're thinking is so is really not so. You are projecting it, and you have agreed to that this particular energetic profile is a particular thing. Again, agreements. Did you know that when babies are born, they don't see anything? They see energy and light only. They only see energy and light. They very quickly, within a few days, start to learn to see things because they're dependent on the adults around them for their survival. So when the adults come to talk to them, they learn to see the adult. They may not see the adult as the adult sees themselves. They might see the adult as some kind of just moving thing, and they learn to perceive what they need, and they learn to interpret it. Also, the adults are very quickly teaching them and describing things so the babies accept this as so. Again, because their survival depends upon it. So this is why babies are such great sponges. They question nothing. They accept everything because their survival depends upon it. And they do know that. So if you look in a newborn infant's eyes within the first day that they were born, and you're going to notice they're looking around, like they're just looking into the space around them. They might be looking around the room, just kind of looking with this curiosity. It looks like they're looking into something, but they're not looking at something. And if you get the baby's attention and you look at the baby, you're going to notice that when the baby looks at you, it's not looking at you. It's as if it's looking through you or into you. It doesn't see the physicalness of you, the physicality. It doesn't see a form. It sees the energy that you are. And all babies are like this. You'll see their eyes don't focus. You're going to see that they just kind of look like around in wonder, and they look at you in the same way. So if you haven't noticed this or had a chance, see the next time you're around a newborn baby, or get yourself around a newborn baby, and just look and see. You were like that. That was you. Nothing. You had nothing. You were completely open. And you then learned. You were told what the agreements were. This energy is that. That energy is this. And then the beliefs were built to hold those agreements into place. If you can accept or grasp this process is the process that was used and is still being used with every newborn being on this planet. Even animal beings, they have a similar process. You will begin to understand and really grasp that everything that you think is so is just a bunch of agreements held together by beliefs. And that allows you to begin to take things apart. So if reality were reality, you couldn't take it apart. But we can take this apart. You can take this apart. And you can play around with it and mold it like clay. It's a virtual world. That's why. Okay, so, we might wonder, who is it a virtual world to or for? Since for us, it seems to be very real. We would say consciousness. It is a virtual world for consciousness. Consciousness has many virtual worlds in which it plays. And we will say, there is only one being present in all of everywhere. If you want to call it the cosmos, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it all that is, there is only one being present, and that is consciousness. It's called source consciousness because it sources everything. Everything you see, from yourself to the floor, to the window, to the tree, to another person, is consciousness, source consciousness. That's it, all consciousness. There is a frequent saying that people on Earth like to say that is, all is one. We're all one. Everything is one. Yes, you are one being, consciousness. But you don't live that way. You forget that, which is fine, because if you didn't forget it, there'd be no purpose to having this little reality in which you are living and playing in. Consciousness wants to experience new things, different things. And if you remembered that you are consciousness and experiencing everything at once, and that there was nothing outside of you, well, you would go right back to being bored again. So there is a method to this creation, or a madness to this. Well, we don't even know what the word is. There's a reason why things are the way they are. Anyway, what is the last question, Monsef?
Maybe you answer this, or maybe we'll include it in the journey. But it's Destiny. She's asking to do a process to release the agreements that we don't want to experience.
Okay, so a process. This person's saying a process to release the agreements that we don't want to experience. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're going to take you on a guided journey, guided meditative journey, and the guided meditative journey was going to look at how everything is held together. So we will look at how these agreements and beliefs are all together. And yes, we will, in that journey, do something to disassemble them. You will be traveling with us energetically, and we will begin to take apart this wall of agreements and beliefs. And we are going to let you hold that vision of it being a wall, because if you see it as something physical, you can see how you could take it apart. You see it as something just, an amorphous thing or energy or light. You're not going to see how clearly how you can take it apart. So we are going to play with that on the meditative journey. So we think you will enjoy that. So before we go on the journey, it actually is into the journey, we wanted to talk about our special offer. Our special offer is made up of wonderful things that are from us. Amy channeled us for everything. And so everything that is here, with the exception of the two things at the bottom, which are the MMRT session and the special personal energy frequency and sequencing sessions. Everything is us. So with that, we'll kind of give you a little description. Oh, Monsef?
Yes.
You want to tell
I
them
want to share the link. Yeah, I just posted on the chat box. So everyone, I invite you to visit the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, AMY, or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, and also the link on the YouTube video description. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay. The name of this little offer is Be All That You Are, Do All That Your Heart Asks, and Have All That You Desire. And you will, as you work within this simulation, this simulated reality, and as you work with the agreements that you've made, make new agreements the way we've described, and build new beliefs to support them. Remember, as if. Living as if. So important. Okay. First in this package is fantastic crystalline grid connection, living love. It is an experience of yourself as living love, which you are. Source is pure love. Love, and not love the way that humans like to think of it as a feeling or an emotion. No, love is a creative force. It is an energy that creates. You think of any time you've created something, you've focused on it, you've thought about it, you've felt it, you loved it. You loved it into form. Love is what you are. And that's why you can love things into being. You can create because you are living love. And this meditation takes you to experience yourself not only as living love, but as one with every other point of light or aspect of consciousness on this planet. You will experience transferring information and knowledge and knowing back and forth between each other. It's a fantastic experience. It's a beautiful experience, and it's very empowering because you realize how you can communicate with others through energy and light really easily. And you may begin to start trying more, like doing it more. Okay, so the next thing after that is accessing the unlimited source vibration during times of chaos and great change. Now, why this is so significant is because you are unlimited source. You are source, but you are carrying all these agreements and all of these beliefs, and those that are, we could say, sourcing the agreements that you agree to and using that energy are creating a chaotic energy on the planet and around you. What happens with gentle, loving, beautiful human beings when they're thrown into a chaotic energy is they become fearful, or they can become paralyzed, or they can just not know what to do, because the energy of chaos is that type of energy. It is chaotic. So it's so important that you remain grounded and connected with the unlimited source energy and vibration that you are. And it's not going to be a natural thing. The more chaotic things get, the more chaotic the energy on the planet is, the less natural to stay connected to source is going to be. So you do this wonderful, beautiful little seminar with us, go on this magnificent guided journey with us, and you will be grounded in source. And the beautiful things about this is they all have living energy in them, and you can use them over and over, and you will receive something different from them each time that you use them. There's not a one and done. They're not a teaching thing. It's not a one and done. They are living, growing, morphing, and they will always be what you need them to be in any moment. So we invite you to not just do them once. Okay, the next thing here is a wonderful little guided meditation. It's a beautiful, blissful, expansive, altered state guided meditation. And it is traveling the divine light of the solar rays to the center of all that is. Now, again, this connects with our theme of source and you being source. With this, you're going to actually flow through these magnificent light rays, through the sun, into the center of the sun, into the center of all that is, and you're going to experience that. Now, what will you experience there? Well, that will be your unique experience. Will you experience yourself? Will you experience something else? Will you see yourself as all-seeing? Will you see everything and know everything? You do have the capability and capacity to do that. You don't use it, but you can. So we know that you will love this. It is just beautiful. And it also shows up in your life, your existence, your physical existence, and it shows up where you will no longer feel sluggish or dull, and you'll have experienced radiant happiness and joy and well-being, and you will burn off all doubt and lack, and you will also burn off unsupportive beliefs and the energy of these beliefs. And you may even start also to take apart the unsupportive agreements or the agreements that are boxing you in. We know everyone has heard the analogy, this is an aside, of being boxed in, being in a box and not being able to break out. The things that are boxing you in are the agreements not the beliefs. The beliefs hold the agreements there, but there are the agreements. So when you start unmaking, undoing, taking down this brick wall of agreements, you get out of your box, because you are not a boxed-in being. That is a completely artificial, created thing, as a simulation. Okay, it is a simulation. All right. The next thing here is the collective, that's us, instant joy process. This is wonderful. It bursts you, for no better word, bursts you into joy within a really short time, where you feel this massive joy bursting out of you in your solar plexus, expanding outward. And this means as you go out and you interact with others, they're going to feel this joy and they're going to respond to you differently. But most important, it means you are going to feel different and be different. And something that a lot of people don't know is everything comes out of joy. Joy is a higher vibration than love. Joy is the first, you could say, vibration. It is an amazing vibration. And without joy, nothing else happens. So joy is so important. And the more that you can hold joy, be filled with joy, and be vibrating with joy, the more amazing things you're going to experience in your life. And the more ease you're going to have in taking apart these old agreements that you just accepted. Okay, the next thing that we have here are these wonderful sequenced frequency living energy MP3s. These contain light-encoded divine crystalline activations, and they are what we call a feel-good, easy way to make changes for your best life. And you could look at them here. They are for all different areas of your life, and what they are is they take you in a short time. They're only maybe about, we think the shortest one is about 7 minutes, and the longest one is about 11 minutes. And they take you into a deeply relaxed state very quickly, and it's very soothing and relaxed. And then this energy is transmitted to you, which you most likely will feel. And after it's transmitted, it's activated. Then we bring you out of the deep state, back to your normal level of consciousness, and that's it. Voila. Really short, really easy to use, and they do make lasting change. Again, it's important to use them as often as you can. They feel good, so there's no reason not to use them, and they don't take a lot of time. You could use them anytime. You could use them when you're, before bed. You could use them sitting and relaxing in a bathtub. We wouldn't encourage you to use them when you're driving at all, because they do take you into a deeply relaxed, altered state, and you could have an accident. Most likely you would. So we do not ever use them while driving. As a matter of fact, don't use anything on here while driving, because in everything on here, you are at some point being taken into a deeply relaxed, altered state. Whether it is to infuse what we have imparted to you into your cells, or it's to, for another reason, like a meditative journey to expand your awareness, or something like these little frequenced or sequenced frequency MP3s, to infuse a new energy and knowing into your cells and the core of your being. They all are altered states, so nothing can be done while driving. We do know people do like to listen to things while driving, but none of these, not these. Okay, the next thing is a bonus. It is the super powerful 5D through 11D multidimensional money, Reiki, and transformation session. This is called the MMRT. And Amy does this once a month. And there is different energy that is coming to the planet, shows up each month, and she focuses on the most powerful energy. And then we don't know the process exactly, but she takes this energy and she makes it into we don't want to say form because energy is not form, but another energy that is compatible with your human energy so that you can receive it fully and assimilate it easily. When a powerful energy event happens, like solstice or an eclipse or the Lion's Gate portal, anything like that, what you'll notice is you may feel some discomfort. The energy may feel overwhelming. That is because the energy that's coming through is not compatible with you. It's not compatible with your human energy that you hold and that you vibrate. So receiving the energy in a way that is compatible with you is so much more powerful because it's comfortable and you actually can receive it. It doesn't, quote, bounce off you. So we invite you to read all about these amazing upgrades and activations that are in the June 30th Solstice Light Upgrades and Activation MMRT. It is an exceptionally powerful MMRT that transmits special solstice upgrades, light codes, and activations. And it also comes, there's a special opportunity here, but it also comes with this July, there's a mid-July Lion Booster. And the Lion Booster is before, it prepares for the July Lions Gate Alignment MMRT. And the Lions Gate is at the beginning of August, and this July MMRT sets you up to be able to receive the most from the Lions Gate, because otherwise it's just going to hit you. So it's an important MMRT. Okay, the July one. The June one, of course, is the solstice one, and that is just a brilliant and a powerful one. And the, let's see, besides all these amazing activations, you're going to have activations of your 5D light bodies, your 7D light bodies. You're going to have increased cellular potential activations, cellular rejuvenation, cellular health, the 24-strand DNA activations, third eye and pituitary activations, higher heart activations, immune system and microbiome healing and upgrades. And then, I mean, there's just so much. We invite you to read it all on the page because it's all here. And every single transmission, infusion, activation, and upgrade is going to be made compatible with you, with your personal energy matrix before it's sent to you. So this is it's powerful and it will be comfortable. Okay, so the next thing is our favorite. We love these, of course, because, you know, they come from us. You're also swimming in them right now, and that is the crystalline rainbow starlight frequencies. And these lovely, awesome, delicious, and powerful 24/7, they flow 24/7, support for an evolving, abundant, joyful life frequencies are wonderful. And you are getting 30 whole days. That's 30 days of 24 hours. These beautiful frequencies are holding you. They're not overwhelming energy. They're gentle, behind-the-scene energies. We like to say it's as if you were picked up and put on a fluffy pink cloud and are being carried around on this cloud through life. So everybody else is down there doing their thing on the ground in their normal way, and there you are, rising above it all on this nice fluffy cloud, nothing to worry about, just going along. And what you'll find is when you are receiving these frequencies, that things don't stress you out the way that they did. You will find yourself more resilient, more relaxed, and more able to respond to whatever shows up in your life. And it's just magical. Magical. The frequencies also clear and clean your environment. That would be your home space. And they also flow to all of your pets. So your pets are going to benefit from them as you receive them. Pets easily receive energy, and you'll be able to see big changes in them. It's pretty wonderful how quickly the changes in the animals show up. because they just are so open to energy. So if you have an older, sicker animal, you'll find that your older animal starts to act young and healthy again. And there's just wonderful things. Okay, so everything that we just described right now is in what's called Package A. And there's another package called Package B. And this contains all of the programs, the meditations, the energy sessions and transmissions and rainbow frequencies, and the MMRT that are in Package A, and it contains something special also. This is a wonderful session. It is a 30-minute personal energy surgery and frequency sequencing session with Amy. Amy works with the magnificent light beings who also assist and work with you in the MMRT sessions. These are 7D light beings. Amy knows them well, and they work, about 4 of them assist her in your energy surgery session. It is literally a surgery session. Your energy body is brought into a special chamber by Amy and worked on there by Amy and the light beings. And all of the changes that they make within your energy body are reflected within your physical body. So once the changes are done, your energy body is sent back, and all the changes are then incorporated into your physical body, and you will feel them and notice them. It's quite wonderful. And this actually works on healing physical things and also any emotional things, any blocks. And if you want to activate new, quote, what you call abilities, we call them just you, just how you are, but don't know that yet. This does that. So we invite you to come to the page because there is so much described here and so much written here. You will have so much detail, and we can't go through it all because we always spent a very long time doing what we did on it, and it is just, there's so much there. So go to the page, take a look, read through, see how it makes you feel, and also there's beautiful energy on the page. And so we encourage you to go enjoy all of that energy flowing on the page and read and enjoy and see how it makes you feel. And see if you are called to get this and to start diving in and having this wonderful package support you in having the life and the experience that you want. See, something like this can do that for you because this is a moldable reality. You can change the agreements in this reality, in your reality, and have a completely different experience and world. That's what they do in virtual realities. Oh, we're changing the agreements now, or we're making new ones. These are the new agreements that you have to agree to before you can enter the world. Just think about that. Think in terms of these virtual worlds, virtual realities. If you've never experienced or don't know about something called Second Life, look it up. See what it is. See how it works. You might even want to go visit it. You'll be kind of amazed. It is a whole reality. And the more that you can question the, quote, solidness of this realm, this experience that you're living in, and the more you can accept, hey, this it really could be a simulation, and just these agreements and beliefs are all that keeps what I'm experiencing in place, the more you can do that, the more you can create what you want easily. See, right now, there's a lot of stuff that tells you can't change certain things. We're saying you can change everything. You can make different agreements. Anyway, that's a special offer. That's our little, we don't know what we want to call it, little summation or reminder of what we talked about. And we would like to take you on the guided journey. What do you think, Moncef?
Yeah, I'd love to. I will just share again the link. So it's yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, AMY. The links also are on the chat boxes. It's on YouTube video description. And also you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live event page, and then later on the replay page. So yeah, thank you, the collective. And yeah, we can do the journey now.
Okay, that's perfect. All right. What we'd like is we'd like everybody to get comfortable. So find yourself in a comfortable position. If you probably want to shift your body around or move it, just check and make sure that there's no tension in any of your body parts, any of your limbs. And if you want to lie down, this is a good time to go lie down. If you're sitting in a chair, we want you to have your feet flat on the floor, no crossed legs, just sitting straight in the chair. You know, you can be leaning back against it with your feet on the floor. Okay, so comfortable, relaxed. Think of having everything open. All right, now we're going to do a different type of way of relaxing, and then we'll bring some energy in. So we want you to start with your feet. All right, we want you to notice your feet. We want you to notice any tension that is in your feet, that is in the bones around your feet, all the ligaments, the tendons, and we want you to let it just be washed away. We're bringing this beautiful, delicious, magical solution, and we're breaking this solution, and we're going to wash away all the tension. So we're taking the solution, and we're putting it all over your feet, and all of the tension's going away. And then we're bringing this magical solution up your legs, and it's removing all tension and stress from your calves, from your shins, from the whole part of your lower legs, your ankles. Now we're washing away all of the tension in your knees, and the knees are feeling so much better. They're opening up, they're relaxing. All the little ligaments in there are just relaxing, and the knees are feeling so nice and open with energy flowing in them. The knees can hold a lot of tension. And now we're coming up and bringing this magical solution up your thighs, the front of your legs, the back of your legs, and we're allowing all of the tension to just release. The magical solution is just washing it out, just washing it out. The tension just flows out like in a little stream, as if we're pouring the solution over you, and all the tension just comes out. And it flows out, and we come up over your hips and your rear, and all the tension in these big muscles just comes away. It just washes away. And now in your lower back and your abdominal area, we're pouring the solution, and it's just rinsing out this tension, rinsing out any tightness. Oh, the back loves to hold tightness and energy. I think it's constantly thinking that it's got an energy scarcity, so it keeps hanging on, and it gets so tight and so knotty from doing that. So we are just rinsing away all that energy, rinsing out all of that tension and letting it go. It's just washing away. Your lower back is feeling relaxed and soft. The bones are able to just move into their proper positions, and it's just everything feeling good. And we're coming now up the back. We're rinsing away. Tension is rinsing away, rinsing, washing it all away. And all the little muscles along the spine, we're getting them all, and all the tension is washing out. And the abdominal area, we're washing that, rinsing all of the tension away. Special solution just takes it away. All of the organs are receiving the wash, and they're releasing all of their tension. Any digestive tension or upset is just washed away, and rinsed and gone. It's just gone. and the body is just smiling with all this relaxation. And now we're washing and rinsing the chest and the upper back, and all of that tension that gets held in the shoulders and the back of the neck and in that spine there, and those big trapezius muscles is just going away. It's just letting go. They're just getting soft, and they're just sinking into whatever you're lying on or sitting on, and you just notice that your shoulders are dropping down as they release all of this tension and this energy they were holding, and they become soft. And the back of your neck is just soft. It releases the tension, and your head almost wants to, if you're sitting, it almost wants to fall forward. You'll keep it balanced. And then we're rinsing and washing the back of the neck more, and the front of the neck, and the sides of the neck, as all the tension releases out. Then we're flowing all of this beautiful magic solution down your arms, both arms, flowing it down, and as it's rinsing, it just rinses out all the tension. And you feel all of this tightness leave your arm muscles, and they just kind of become soft and limp. And your hands become soft and limp, and they just feel good and relaxed. For the first time, maybe all day, they're just relaxing, and your arms are just nice and soft. And we go back up to the shoulders, and we do more rinsing on the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders again to make sure that all of this tension is washed away. We just take it all away. And we let it go. Let it go. We just wash it away. Release it. We don't try to hang on to it. Now we're coming up to your head, and we're just pouring this magic solution over your head. And it's coming down over the back of your head, over the front of your head, over your eyes and all your facial muscles and your jaw, and all of the tension, all of the tightness is just washing away, floating away. It's just drifting out, no more. It's just releasing and releasing, and you feel your forehead get soft, and any scrunching you had is just gone and dissolved. And you feel the jaw relax, your mouth actually opens a little bit, and there's no tightness in the jaw muscle, it's all soft. And your face is relaxed, all the, like hundreds of muscles in there, just relaxed. And the muscles of the scalp and the head and your brain and your mind, everything is just relaxed. You are feeling so relaxed and peaceful, and just almost as if you are not even in your body because you're so used to your body holding all this tension and energy that now, with it so relaxed and open, it feels almost foreign, like it's something other than your body. But we assure you, this is your body. This is your body relaxed and joyful and happy. Now we're going to breathe in some magical light, because we're going to travel on this magical light. So we want you to breathe in this magnificent stream of brilliant white, divine light through the top of your head, through your crown chakra, and allow it to flow down through your head, brightening up everything, filling it with light as it flows. Let it flow down your neck into your shoulders and down your arms, filling every part of your body form. Then allow the light to continue traveling down your chest, your abdominal area, your back, upper back, middle and lower back, filling every space within your body, every organ filled with this magnificent light, vibrating at the highest frequency of light. And allow the light to continue to flow down your legs, through your hips, down your legs, through your knees, down your lower legs, all the way down, 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 down into your feet. Allow the light to fill up every space in your feet, every toe, and allow the light to radiate out of your toes. Allow it to radiate out of your toes, and allow it to radiate out of the tips of your fingers. And as you are filled with this light, we want you to allow the light to radiate outwards from your body form, filling the space around you, filling your energy field, your smaller energy field around you with beautiful, magnificent, divine white light. And then allow it to flow out even further. Fill your larger energy field with divine light. So here you are, this beautiful white light-filled form in this magnificent, divine white light field of energy that is expanding even as we talk about it. And the field continues to expand until it fills everywhere. It encompasses your whole neighborhood. It encompasses your home. It encompasses the city or town that you live in. Your beautiful field of light. It's so big. It's now encompassing a part of the country you are in and the area that you are in. And now it keeps expanding and expanding, and it encompasses the whole country you're in. And it expands further and further and bigger and brighter. And it now expands to encompass the whole planet. So you are now, your light field, your beautiful light field is surrounding the whole earth. You are holding the earth in your field. You are holding the earth as a part of your energy, your light. The earth is one with you. You are the source of the earth, and you are loving the earth. You love all of the beings on the earth. They are all within your light field, and you can feel them and see them. You can look over at another part of the earth, and you can see what's going on there. You can see the people living there. They are all within your energy, in your light field. Your light holds and surrounds them all. And you can watch them, and you can see them, and you can send them loving support with whatever they're doing. And now, we're going to allow your energy and your light field to expand beyond the earth. We're going to expand into what you call space, which isn't space at all. It's actually consciousness, and it is you. And so we're going to continue to expand your field, and it's going to expand out bigger and bigger until it encompasses all of the planets. It encompasses and goes around the sun and all of the planets, Mercury, Mars, and Venus, and then all of the other planets, the outer planets, all the way out to Pluto and what's called the Kuiper Belt, and all the way out and out beyond the Milky Way galaxy. The whole Milky Way galaxy is in your light field and within your beautiful divine light. And you look around and you can see, hey, there's another solar system there. And you can take your consciousness and you can go visit it. And you can see that there's beings, sentient beings there on several planets, and they're enjoying themselves. They're having a good time. They're living their lives. And it makes you happy to see that. It all is within your light field. So we want you to continue to expand your field. Let it expand. And it's going to encompass many, many hundreds of galaxies. It's going to encompass everything that is so-called created or that is. And you are going to hold it all within your light field, within your awareness and your consciousness. And you're going to feel how wonderful everything feels. And you're going to feel so happy to have this all within your light field and your energy and your consciousness. And you are going to just beam love to every aspect of everything that is there within your light field. Now, you are experiencing all of you, all of everything. And somehow, this is not your moment-by-moment experience. Somehow, you do something that doesn't allow you to know who you are and the power that you have and the bigness that you have. We're going to take a look from our perspective here as everything at how you do that. So we're going to focus your consciousness right now back down to your home, Earth. And we're not traveling back there yet. We're just going to have your awareness be looking at the Earth. And as you look at the Earth, what you notice is people seem to be moving around in little constricted circles. They don't seem to be moving freely. Even though they may take their physical body, or what shows up or appears as a physical body, and take it and travel on the planet, they are not leaving the restrictive circles that they function within. They are doing everything within these restrictive circles. So this is a very curious thing. So as you look closer, you notice that these restrictive little circles are made up of walls. It looks like walls, and they're not really there, but these beings on the Earth are perceiving them as very real, and so they don't go beyond them. So you're looking at these walls and you're noticing that these walls are composed of many different things, all held together by some type of glue. And as you look and you watch how a being first comes to the Earth and then is brought into the fold by those around them and then taught all of these things, you notice that the components, so to speak, of the walls are agreements. This little new being is agreeing to all of these things that it is being told. Being either told to agree or asked to agree, but it's agreeing. And every time it agrees, one of these little bricks, we will call them, is formed. And these bricks get piled one upon the other until they make massive walls and a massive container that holds that little being. Now, if there were no glue holding these bricks together, that little being could just knock them over and break out to the other side easily. But there is glue. And the glue is what is called, or you know of, as beliefs. It's what you have accepted as so. You have accepted this as so. And therefore, it is a belief, and you live your life as if it is true. These beliefs are the glue that goes in between all of the bricks of agreements that you made. And you're seeing this happen with this little new being. You're seeing how all of these beliefs are being created and filling in the gaps in the bricks and gluing them together. And you're seeing the little being looking with wonder at all of this happening. And then as you watch the little being grow, you'll see the little being has completely forgotten about the agreements and the glue and has just accepted its place within the container. And that is how it lives its life. So as you look at this, you want to blow down those walls. You want to knock them down. We know that you can knock down what is agreed to as so with what you say is so. What you say is so is much more powerful than what you agreed to as so. What you agreed to as so is a relative thing. It's contingent upon other things. What you say is so is your word, and it is absolute. So when you declare, when you say something is so, it is much more powerful than the agreement wall, and it knocks it down. You must, because you are building a new wall with what you say is so, you must believe and know, more importantly than believe, you must know that what you are saying is so, is so. So you must know what you are saying is so, is so. There's no rules about what you can say is so. There are no limitations. There is no restriction. You can say anything is so. And once you've said it, you must know in the core of you, the very essence of you, that it is so. That is it. When you do that, all of these other things, these other agreements, these other things that you accepted that were contingent upon things, that were thought up by people, that are relative to other situations, they just fall apart. And you are left brilliant, bright, strong, big in your energy, all powerful, all knowing, and able to do anything and be anything and have anything that you choose just by living as if it is so. We want you to remember this in the core of your being, in every single cell of your being, in every fiber. So we're going to ask you to take your forefinger of your dominant hand and point it out. And then take your thumb of your dominant hand and curl your forefinger around to touch your thumb. And we want you to press them together. And when you press them together, you will feel the line of pressure, the space of pressure, as they touch each other and press on each other. We want every time, we are saying every time that you do this, that you press the forefinger of your dominant hand to the thumb, and you press them together, you will remember in the core of your being, in every cell, everything that you have just seen. It will be there for you. So now that we have done that, we're going to bring your energy field back to you so that you are not spread out everywhere, but that you can live as the concentrated and focused aspect of this massive energy that you are. So allow the energy to just roll inward and flow back to you from beyond all of the galaxies. It just comes back. And it comes back gently and beautifully, and it's just flowing back like a wave washing up on a beach. Allow it to come back. As the energy comes back to surround the earth, you smile, because this is where you are right now. This is where you've chosen to be, on this magnificent earth. And as you be here, you allow yourself to enjoy it, and you smile, and you enjoy all of the little games that happen on the earth, and all of the different rules that people make up that aren't real, but people live as if they're real, and you just smile. You smile. This earth is your heart, and you know it, and you love it, and you love all beings on the planet. And as your energy now comes back from around the earth, down into your town or your city, into your home, to be right where you are, it still surrounds you and your home. It's a very large energy, but we're bringing it back to you. And as it surrounds you and surrounds your home, you can feel your body form once again. You can feel the energy flowing within your body form. You can feel your hands, your arms, your head, your neck, your trunk, your organs, your legs, your ankles, your toes, and you smile. You feel the energy flowing within all of you. And as you feel yourself lying or sitting on the surface you are on, and you feel the surface pressing up against you, you smile, because you know that is saying, I have form. I have form in this reality, in this virtual reality. I have created form, and you know that you are, that you exist. Now we're going to bring your awareness back to your normal consciousness. We're going to count from 1 to 7. And when we reach 7, you're going to be wide awake, fully conscious, and you will open your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Open your eyes, blink, look around, see how everything looks to you. You may notice more light around you. You may notice you feel lighter and brighter. Notice it all. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we weren't sure if we left you out there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm smiling, and also, as you say, it feels like there is more space within. It's like there was some release, like part of the resistance, and it feels like, especially when we were saying, it's us who say, if something is so, it's us who say that. Something similar to that. It really brought some, as you say, it's a reminder of our true power, that it's us who create our experience. And this is where everything starts. It's not from what we see out there, but it's from within. This is the beginning of of what we are creating. And yeah, so that was beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, and you have everything within you. The whole of everything is within you, is you. So yes, you can do, be, have, create, live anything, anything. So we hope that everybody found that not only beautiful and a soothing and wonderful experience, but enlightening too.
Yeah. And
we'd love to,
yes.
if people are awake
Yeah.
or conscious again, we'd love to hear from some of you about how that was.
Yeah, so everyone, please write your experience on the chat box. And Destiny, she said, thank you, Amy and the collective. That was awesome. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much, Destiny. We appreciate you and love you too.
Yeah. Therefore, yeah, maybe they will please.
We think that they may still join this expanded feeling.
Yeah. Because it was very relaxing, very soothing, and sometimes we want to stay in that space, and especially if they are laying down. So yeah, if we receive more feedback, I can share it with Amy later.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
We know that she would love to hear.
Yeah, we have two more here from Julie. Thank you so much. It was so simply explained and a wonderful experience and very deep and relaxing. Much love.
Oh, thank you so much, Ginny. We are so glad that you were able to receive all that we shared and the whole experience.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie. And Tavama. Thanks, Amy and the collective. I feel expansion, lightness. My headache and dizziness is gone. Thanks.
Good. That's wonderful. We are very happy to hear.
Yeah. Thank you, Tavama. Beautiful. And yeah, the collective, thank you so much. It's really always an honor and pleasure to have you with us. You always bring really inspiring information, and you really go deep into aspects that sometimes feel confusing. And yeah, today it was really empowering, and I loved what you shared. It was very, very powerful. So thank you so much.
Oh, that is wonderful. You're very, very welcome, and we love sharing with you. We love being here with you, and we are always happy to bring new energy, new light, new insight and awareness to everybody. That is what we love to do, and so we will continue to do it. You will be hearing from us again, we promise.
Yes.
Shall we bring Amy back to say goodbye?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We will say goodbye. Thank you, everybody. We love you.
Thank you.
All right.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm not quite all the way back yet. Wow. They really like to I don't even have a word to describe it. They like to really take over everything, the body and everything, and encompass everything. And when they leave, it's kind of like the breath was taken out of me. It's hard to explain. It's like
yeah.
That's why I always say I'm not completely back, because it feels like something was like the breath was taken out, and I have to do a big inhale to come back. It's an interesting feeling. Very interesting feeling. So,
yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's felt really, really nice, everything that they did. I got little bits and pieces of it. So it's good. And you liked it. Everybody seemed to like everything and benefit from everything. So that's wonderful. Everything was received as they intended.
Yeah, it was very, very empowering. Yeah.
Good.
So
Well,
thank you very much.
So much for having me and having the collective. And I love being here on your show, and I know they do too. And you create such a wonderful space for everybody, and it's just our favorite place to be.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Yeah, it's really a joy for us also to have you with us. I mean, like in all your calls, like for me personally, like the energy feels very like the shift. It's a big shift, and I feel the energy shifting after the call compared to before. It's always empowering, and also there is also a lot of fun connecting with you and the collective. So yeah, thank you.
That's good. That's good. Like that's like a big basket full of good things, you know.
Yeah.
So that's well, good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for coming and being here to play with the collective and me. And I really appreciate you and appreciate your willingness to be open and to receive. And I just love you all. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you very much again, Amy, and also everyone. Thank you so much for being here today, for co-creating with us this really wonderful call and experience today. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for those who asked the questions, and also for your comments. And again, you can find the sign up for the program that's Amy and the collective are offering us on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Amy, AMY. Or you can click on the special offer button, which is on the live events page, later on the replay page, and the link will be also on the YouTube video description and also on the chat boxes. So yeah, so with that, everyone, I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.